Hi, everybody. Can you
Hey.
hear us? Yeah, I guess we're just getting on. Everybody's just getting on. Kind of my setup is a little weird. Is your view weird?
I'm seeing that Stacy. Hi, Stacy. Becky. Is that Becky? Hi, Jamie. Kara.
I gotta put glasses on.
Oh, I see so far.
Oh, there's Jamie, Kara. Yeah. I don't see pictures for you other people there, but that's okay. I get it. We have to have our cameras on.
Oh, I know. Oh, okay. Here we go. We've got, yeah, Brittany, Emily, Jamie, Janine, Laura, Kara, Meg. Okay. Great group. All right. All right, gang. So it's good to see everybody. Thanks for jumping on with us. Some of you we just saw in Franklin, right? Hi, buddy. There's Jamie's little guy.
So cute.
All right, so let's just kind of it's kind of just an open forum. Anybody have any kind of questions or anything that they want to start off sharing, and we can kind of go from there.
I'll try to keep the chat box open over here on the side and read. If you guys you can just turn your mic off and ask questions, but you can also put the messages in the side too if you want to.
Who wants to go first? Who's got something juicy?
Come on.
Hi. Hey, how are you?
Texas in November of 2023 with my mom. So it's been a while since I've been on because I was in massage school so I could get my license to touch.
Great. Wait, you said you were in Philadelphia, right?
Texas.
San Antonio.
I can't remember if it was Austin. Yeah, Austin.
Oh, Austin. Yeah, it could have been Austin
Or
too. Yeah.
wherever I don't know, the Alamo is.
Oh, that was
Yeah,
San
San
Antonio.
Yeah.
Antonio. Yeah.
Anyway, so I have you few questions I've been saving up.
Awesome.
One kind of not have you one of my clients when I was in massage school like had some feeling back in their she had had a stroke, so half her body was like her limbs, one side of her the right side of her body, her limbs were like she kind of has to drag them along.
Paralyzed?
Yeah, she had verbal and everything, but after her massage, she could have feel a little bit of movement in her toes and her fingers. But that was only the first massage. But then I was like curious if you've had anything with CFT for stroke patients, success as far as any feeling
You're
returning.
saying after you gave her CFT, she could have feeling in her toes?
No, that was massage, and
Massage.
it was
Okay.
after I massaged her head. So I
Yep.
don't know if, because a lot of times when I would give massages, the CFT would kick in. So I had to have my little spiel. They're
Yeah.
coming for a massage. I'd be like, so by the way, I took this training, and a lot
Great.
of people I give massages to, all of a sudden their arm might be moving, even though I'm like giving a massage. So So I don't know if like it had the CFT part had kicked in or what, but I did see her twice, and the second time it wasn't anything that stuck, but I was curious if you had any either of you had any success with stroke.
I have had a few people with strokes. Two of them were years ago because I had actually had gotten a request from kind of people that I knew, and I went to in both cases, one was a young girl in her teens who had a stroke, and she was paralyzed from the chest down. And I gave her a few sessions and she started to make like remarkable progress. So was it the CFT? I don't know, but she had kind of plateaued and then she had some CFT and then, like all the other things she was doing over in this rehab center really started to help her. So that was one where I do feel like CFT was a contributing factor. And then I
Mhm.
had another one with an older man, same thing. I went to the rehab, and after I had seen him a few times, he was, you know, doing much better. He was actually starting to walk and, you know, moving in the right direction.
Oh, wow.
And they weren't from around here, so then he had to move back to where he was. So I never kept in touch with them. Then I had a guy who came, I'd say maybe in the last year or two, um, and he had a very like shuffled gait, and he did not have much. His language was, you know, he's very hard to understand. And the wife had texted me and said that she really noticed a difference after his session with his gait, walking better, and that his speech was becoming more clear. So yeah, I do think so. All of them are zero brain cycles. And so what we're trying to do is open up their system and see, you know, if we can get them to the best possible place that we can get them towards their healing. You know, they're going to be doing other work, other PT as well, and other types of therapies. But I really do believe that CFT can only help with all of those.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's great. I'm really happy to
Yeah.
hear that for you, Brittany. That's
Yeah.
good news. Yeah, and congratulations on getting yourself to
Thanks.
massage school. And yeah,
Yeah. What's that?
where do you practice?
Well, I'm in Alaska. I still have to take my
Okay.
NCLEX. So I just got done last week.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been a busy week. So I'm like, yeah, it's been
Great.
just over a week that I got done with school. So now
I love that we have people in Alaska now. I mean, we have quite a few of you. Do you know
We
some of
do.
the
We have
practitioners?
probably eight or nine practitioners there. I mean, they're not
Oh,
all
okay.
in the directory, but we've had that, and I think we have some more people coming in Austin. I think I saw that on the list. So,
Oh, that would be fun if I don't know if they'd yeah, I don't know how a person would get in touch with them, I guess. If you're able to forward their information or
yeah.
I don't know, that'd be fun. I tried to get a little thing together because there was a few people I knew after the class I took, but then with people moving and coming and going, it's kind of hard to
Yeah, and that's,
keep up with
you know, that it is
everyone.
very hard to, it's hard for you to keep in touch. It's hard for us to manage where everyone is.
Yeah,
That's why we do really hope that people join the directory, because that's another way for
yeah,
you to kind of just see if there's somebody in your area to connect with
yeah.
and
But
refer.
also, yeah, and do a Google search too, because people could just, have it on their website.
Oh,
You
true.
find
Yeah,
you
Yeah.
find it on the website too.
yeah. And then other question, do you know if lactic acid can be released during the CFT? One of my clients had a question on it, and then they're like tired and sore after they get a CFT session. They like the CFT, it's beneficial for them, but that's just one of their immediate things. So they're curious if maybe it was lactic acid being released or
Certainly could be, but I mean, I guess everybody like responds differently to CFT. I wouldn't say I had that many people that were tired and sore. But certainly they could be. But
yeah.
yeah,
And I
I
think
mean,
sometimes that depends on how much they move around. If you have someone who's
exactly. Yeah.
around a lot and they don't typically move in those that way, then they may feel sore, you know, a muscle soreness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I'd recommend for her, you know, a lot of water and Epsom salt baths, and, you know, just taking good care of herself. Could be a little detox period for her.
Yeah. What about cold spots? Have you had like anyone that has like various cold spots as they're releasing and
What do you mean by that?
like on their so one of my clients had like on the back of their hand and then their forearm, like the forearm, the first time they came, it was like really cold in those two areas. Like they could feel it and I could feel it.
Mm.
Just like noticeably, like from the wrist is warm and then also in the back of the hand and the front of the hand are warm. The front of the hand and the wrist are warm, but the back of the hand is cold. But then the second time it was those two areas were still cold, but they were not as cold.
Well, that's
Have you
interesting.
had anything like that?
I haven't had that particular description, but I've certainly had people say I feel like a cold rush.
Oh,
which I
okay.
feel is things kind of, opening up, maybe the fluid starts flowing. Megan is saying from Megan Hargo, Chinese medicine talks,
Yeah.
what is she saying here?
Yep.
Oh,
Energy
okay.
being released. Yeah, that makes sense from a meridian perspective and just from the elements perspective as well, for sure. From
Hmm.
five elements.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about POTS? Have you worked with anyone with that? I don't even know exactly what it is. I've just heard the term.
Postural orthostatic tachycardia, and it's actually become quite more prevalent since COVID. I've seen a few more um, cases of that, and I have not had anybody completely heal from POTS, but I've had people who've had an improvement of their symptoms.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and then I have a hard time with the hypermobility stuff. I know you talk about it in class, and then we've talked about it a couple times on the Q&As, but
Are you
uh,
seeing are you seeing people who have that?
yeah, like 'cause I have a friend that has hypermobility, and then actually I didn't realize it, but I have it in my neck, but I just found that out this summer. But mine's from being in car accidents and getting whiplash and then like falling on my back like a
Whiplash.
lot. So like the CFT was really helping me, but then I don't know if my head just got like too loose, but I'm doing a different kind of a therapy for that for myself, but I don't
Well,
know.
when you have those people, you really got to support the joints. So that's the most important thing is how you're holding them, that you're supporting the joints, that the legs aren't, the knees aren't hyperextending or, at the shoulder, all the joints. You're just going to be holding them and supporting them in the unwind. And you're just using a little bit of extra care and caution with them.
Yeah,
But oddly enough, underneath this laxity and this flexibility and is a is a strain of tightness. So
hmm,
a lot of those people do have they're in a lot of pain, and the CFT can help with that.
yeah. I
Yeah.
had a massage client that was like really hypermobile, but she didn't have much. There was like a little bit sometimes of massage or like CFT that would kick in for her, but
So how
um,
are you incorporating the CFT with the massage? Are you doing it separate?
it just like I don't know, it's been super fascinating. It almost just like combines. Like I have no control over it, and it just like yeah, I don't know.
Okay. And do you find it tricky if they're under the sheets and they don't have their clothes on that they go into CFT mode?
A little bit, but they don't move around as much. Like they're not
Okay.
like jumping up and like
Yeah. Yeah, no,
going
we don't have
side to
that.
side and back.
Okay.
Like, but there's a couple people like I was like, okay, their legs are wanting to move, but they're a little bit like aware, so they're not really moving. So then I have
Yeah.
to quick adjust the
You could always offer,
drape and like
yeah, I mean, you may want to say to them, that's a little bit of CFT. It'd be, if you wanted to try a session, typically people are clothed, and that could help you build out some just CFT sessions.
yeah.
Well, I know it's tricky with the massage, right?
Yeah. And that was all at school. I haven't done it like
Okay.
since I got done with school.
So you
So
starting your own practice?
I will be, yeah, once I
Great.
get
That's great,
licensed.
Brittany.
Yeah.
Good. Well,
That's
you'll
my
be busy
plan.
up there in Alaska.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So thank you. I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yep. That's
Okay, we have
great.
a question from Kira. Um, do you have any stories, info on how CFT might positively impact a breech baby? A potential client was wondering if CFT has been used to help turn a breech baby and keep a baby in the proper position. Definitely have worked on lots of pregnant women, but I don't know if anybody was breech. I can't recall anybody that was breech. Anybody on the call worked on
I've heard
anybody?
stories from students. I personally
I feel
haven't
like
had
that
it.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I don't know for sure, but I have definitely heard from students that babies would breach and then up until some CFT and then babies started to, Which I don't know, maybe if you're creating a little bit more space, who knows, I would, I would certainly, I would certainly be working on mamas that are, that are pregnant, and it'd be great if
You can
that,
get them before they get pregnant, even better,
yeah,
and work with them through their whole pregnancy.
yeah,
Yeah. Got a lot of stories of moms that have had babies before and then, found CFT, got pregnant and went through their whole pregnancy getting CFT. And, they just have great testimonies for what CFT did for them. And, they're like those births that came after no CFT that were so much better. And the baby was so much better. So.
yeah, definitely. Anybody else?
I have a question and comment maybe. Holly, I just took a neurotactile integration, the MNRI. I
Oh,
think they
good.
said that, so it was with Amy Cameron. She mentioned your name a couple times.
Yeah. Yeah. She was my person in North Carolina. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mostly work with like non-speaking autistics and mostly adults. And I've
Hmm.
been trying to like incorporate and weave CFT both in and neurotactile. Um, and I don't know. I was just wondering, I guess, if anyone has any tips or, the kids and adults that I work with, their bodies are bustling like all the time. So there's some that it's easier and they're very like intuitive and they'll just grab my hand and it'll release. But then there's others that I can't even just get in there to do anything.
Because
So I guess
because
I
they're
just
not
wanted to
laying on the
hear.
table, or just because it's
Oh
hard.
yeah, God no, nowhere near the table.
Yeah, I mean, that is true. I mean, the kids are easier because, like, if they were small enough, I would put them in my lap,
Yeah.
or put them on
Mm-hmm.
I had a mat, so I'd put them on a mat on the floor and try to have them be, with their mom or dad there. And it's definitely in short bursts, and then they get up and run around or do something different. Adults, um, yeah, it maybe you just try for 5 minutes. I don't know if you can get that, or even in a chair, get them to
Yeah.
it just or on seated somewhere. It's just lots of accommodating what they're giving you, and kind of trusting that what they're giving you is going to be the exact thing that they need to unwind. Like you said, they do put their hands where they want you to put them. It's crazy. Yeah.
Do they
Yeah.
use any I know the couple kids that I had, with autism, they would have the iPads, and that's was really the only way for me to get in. And even though it was hard, and I might be there a few seconds and then I'm off because and then a few seconds and then I'm off. And it's so much patience and persistence. And eventually this one little boy, I'm thinking, and he was nonverbal the whole thing. I mean, he would just flip around and I would just do as much as I could. And eventually it became a very calm session, and it may have taken 3, 4 times, but now he will lay there and I can work on him. He still has his iPad, we still need that tool, but yeah, sometimes that's kind of the only way.
Yeah.
Also,
I think,
no,
sorry,
I'm
go
just
ahead,
thinking
Ollie.
of the kids. A lot of times if their parents were there, they had like things that they would do with them that were really calming. Like this one mom she would like do things like neurotactile things because she knew a lot of
Mhm.
MNRI. So she would do some of the MNRI things with him while I was working on him, and that kind of distracted him. He was like a 10-year-old kid, nonverbal kid. So she would kind of do some MNRI on him while I was doing CFT. And it seemed to really help him regulate.
I had
Yeah.
this one
That's a
kid,
good idea.
he was like 20. And he was a firecracker. He would bolt through the door and run all around. I mean, it was just, I was like, oh Lord, how am I ever? And after a few times, he would bolt through the door and he would dive onto the table and flip himself over and just wait for me. And I was just like, wow, like they know.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's tricky because I'm doing so many different things. Like I've added so many tools in my toolbox. So like I'm a speech therapist, I'm doing spelling with them, and I'm so it's like maybe it's easier if it's like you're just coming here for CFT or like body work. So it's like getting into a routine of just doing that. But yeah, that was super helpful. Thank you guys.
Yeah, just keep trying. Persistence and just every little bit you're building on something. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And the more they come, the more they get used to you too. So maybe the
Hmm.
first couple of sessions seem like nothing's happening, but then the parents would report something amazing. So they would come back. And then it seemed like it progressively they became more comfortable in the setting and like just kind of getting to know you. And then
Yeah.
over time, like Kim said, they're like they come in and they're like happy to be there.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See you, Megan. Anybody else?
Hi guys, it's Becky.
Hi, Becky. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Great. Good to see you.
Hi,
Good.
Sophie.
I had something happen yesterday that hasn't happened before, so I want to run it by you and just see what you think. Um, Yesterday I saw a lady, she was in her 70s. She came to me because she's tried a lot of other things. Um, Acupuncture, different things. She said to me that she feels like from birth, she's had a lot of traumatic things happen in her life. Um, when she was born, they used forceps. Her face is obviously asymmetrical, just from how she grew. She has a lot of autoimmune things, fibromyalgia, PTSD, Hashimoto's. So she has all these issues, and she came to me because of TMJ. And I probably worked on her 45 minutes or so, maybe with CFT. I went intraoral. She did great with releasing. She said it felt better. She felt a lot of places. Like we would start somewhere and then all at once she'd say, "Oh, I feel it here. Oh, I feel it here. Oh, I feel it here." So she was kind of all over. And I texted her today, and she said I told her to drink plenty of water. That this was probably, she had probably released a fair amount. And she said today she felt just like everything hurt. Like she said, every part of her body hurt. Um, what would you say to somebody that the next day is like, I feel like I got run over by a train?
Yeah. And that's sometimes the term that they use. I feel like I got hit by a truck, I'll hear, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so what do we say? I mean, we do think that that is some kind of detox happening, as explaining that the tissue holds toxins, and as the tissues release, the toxins release, and they've got to make their way out. So it's part of the healing process, and even though it doesn't feel good, it's a good thing to get that out. So encouraging the water, the Epsom salt baths, and whatever she does, if she does any kind of detox
Mm-hmm.
work,
Mm-hmm.
um, and that it will pass. It will pass, and then hopefully it will clear. And then it's just sometimes it's like it's not a straight line to healing, and take a couple steps forward, a couple steps back. But as long as you're moving in that forward direction, you feel hopeful for her.
She didn't want to do anymore
Yeah.
because she's done a lot of other things that have probably produced maybe similar, you know, she's done acupuncture, it was sore. And I think her instinct is to, oh, this isn't a good thing, even though she's been through a lot of different modalities. So she knows, because we talked about that, she knows it's not going to be, it could be a process. I did tell her, if she did decide at some point to come back, maybe we could work at things a little bit slower
I was going to say
too.
that. Yeah. Or take, if you would be willing to maybe do half a session with her
Yeah,
or something.
yeah.
Um,
Just maybe focus on an area. I mean, we literally did not get past here. Scapulas, a lot of face, TMJ, but she was even in the session feeling it all over.
Was she
Um,
moving around a lot, or was it just beneath your hand?
Not a lot, but she
Yeah.
was moving. She was
Mhm.
moving. Um, and I thought the session went well. I'm going to touch base with her again just to make
Yeah.
sure that she's kind of headed in the right.
And how was her brain cycle before and after?
It was not good before.
Mhm.
It was better after. I don't remember the numbers.
Yeah.
I'm not home, but yeah, it was not. I mean, there was one, but it was really short. So I know, and yeah, she
Is she
felt
healthy?
releasing.
Is
Is
she
she
like
healthy? I
yeah.
mean, well,
I mean, like what is the condition of,
she does a lot of alternative medicine stuff. So she's yeah, I think she doesn't smoke. She eats well. She takes care of herself. She does vitamins, but she has all these autoimmune immune things, like the fibromyalgia. Um, just different things that she's always in probably some kind of pain
yeah. Well,
somewhere.
it sounds like no matter what modality too, like other modalities have also put her in that same situation.
Hmm.
Yeah.
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 So hopefully she'll come back because she's like, I don't know. And I did say, you know, when we're releasing, fascia's everywhere. So you're going to feel it in other areas. The soreness could happen in other areas. And it is a form of detoxing. I explained that as well. So hopefully she'll keep coming back because sometimes things get, like you said before, they get a little bit, you have to go a little bit, you have to backtrack a little bit before you can go forward.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
so hopefully, anyway, I just wanted to see your perspective on that, and I think I'm leading her in the right direction. So thank you.
Yeah.
Jamie just commented on that. She said, I had a client like this. She would feel incredible leaving the session, but would be quote unquote sick, abdominal bloating, flu-like GI distress. She has a loaded medical history riddled with trauma, emotional, physical, autoimmune, lives in mold, etc. So we altered and do mini sessions, slow and steady, and it seems to have been beneficial to her. Thanks, Jamie. That's great. Yeah, that
Yeah,
might be
thank
something
you.
to try, Becky. Yeah.
Yep, I will definitely do that. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Awesome. Anybody else?
Hi, I don't know how to raise my hand.
That's
That's
okay.
Melanie.
You
Hi,
can just,
Melanie.
I have a question. I have had a couple of clients asking about intensives. So I was curious to know if there is a protocol that we follow for intensives. Like, are they done? I know there's 2 a day, 3 days, but is there like any sort of protocol that we follow? A lot of my clients have been coming to me. I've been getting a lot of clients from Charity, Cocoon to Bloom on Instagram,
great.
and they see her videos and especially all of the ones of the intensives of the before and after photos. So I just wanted to see if you had any insight into that. Like, should we take before and after pictures and all that kind of stuff?
I want to see. I want to see.
You want to answer for us there, little buddy? Holly, do you want to take that? Hi. Oh gosh, she's cute.
Yeah. Aw. Well, you can structure an intensive however you want to structure it, as far as like, morning, afternoon, so that's how I did it, morning, afternoon, and then
It goes
morning or just morning and afternoon.
slow.
But as far as a protocol, meaning we don't have a protocol. You're just gonna, you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna check the brain cycle. You're gonna go in, you're gonna land on those four, beginning areas.
Yeah.
And then the body's going to lead you where it wants to go. I would encourage you to try, both seated and lying down, so kind of mix it up a little bit. I don't know if you guys are working seated at all, but that's something that really kind of, changes the dynamic for somebody when you take that table out of the way, especially when you're doing the something up here, throat and oral structure kind of thing. So, but is that what you mean, Melanie, by
No,
protocol?
actually, I wanted to know not so much protocol with the treatment, but just how many times, I guess, would be
Oh,
with
yeah,
like included. How many
yeah.
times, what the follow up would be. So if they did like the 6 sessions in 3 days, would you follow up monthly with them or?
Well, that really depends on monetary, their monetary situation, how far away they are, and what their condition is. So I think it would vary based on all of those things. But
Yeah,
certainly
and I think
a month is, yeah, that's a lot of
six is a
sessions.
lot. I mean, I think you know, like maybe a morning, afternoon,
Morning, afternoon.
morning. I mean,
Yeah.
that's 5
Yeah.
solid sessions. You're gonna know, have we moved, have we moved down the field at all on that?
Right. Gotcha.
And I would be seeing, it's always like, okay, where's their brain cycle? What are they feeling? I would have them check in after a few days. I want to, kind of follow how they're doing. And then I might make a call on coming back. Like if they're doing great, then I may not see them for another month or something if they want. I mean, there are people that come, they kind of get their cycle open and moving and things are kind of feeling great. And then that's it. It doesn't have to be they keep coming back, although they will.
Right.
Feel so good.
Yeah.
But like Holly said, some people have, there's distance, there's financial consideration. And so like I like that it's not something that somebody has to keep doing because I understand that is a commitment for a lot of people, especially young families.
Right.
Nanny.
Yeah. And
Where
they
are
are,
you,
she has
honey?
2 kids that she wants to bring in with this particular family.
Okay. Where are you located?
I'm in New Jersey.
What part?
Sea Caucus. So I'm close to Janine.
Janine. Yeah, yeah, great.
Yes, I'm very close to her. I get treated by Janine.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And so the other thing is if she has a few kids, you can split the sessions. I do that all the time too, because,
Okay.
it's I don't know how long you're booking, but if you're booking an hour, you can certainly split that with, 2 kids, sometimes even 3, once you've had them, open and you're just, kind of rotating them on and off the table.
Right. That's kind of what I've been doing. I've been doing because I started with the toddler. And then once she was seeing some great results with her toddler, then her older daughter, who's 9, is going for palate expansion. She wanted to start treating her. So I see them both in the same session. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm
great.
going to change my room.
No, you're fine.
Okay. But I wanted to tell you guys too that so I'm sorry, I don't want to take all the time up, but
You're here.
I'm very excited because I've been a massage therapist for a long time, 28 years, worked at a hospital doing massage for the past 8 years. And I finally gave my notice and I'm going CFT all the
Wow.
way.
CFT Rogue.
Yes.
Oh,
That's
that is
awesome. You're
fantastic.
gonna be so busy,
Yeah.
I'm
especially
getting
in
really
that
busy.
area. Yeah.
Yes, I'm getting so busy. Janine is in my area. There's an Kim, there's a woman, Kim, that took the
Tim
course with
Elsner.
us too.
Yeah.
Yep, Kim is
Yeah.
in my area. But
Yeah.
we're all just sort of feeding off each other and just it's really amazing how it's just I got in touch with a couple of lactation consultants in my area and it's just really taking a life of its own. It's awesome.
I'm so happy to hear that for you, Melanie. That is great. And it's like, I love to hear when people are like, you're just out on your own. Like, you don't have to answer to anyone. You can create whatever kind of life and schedule you want. And it's so awesome to be
It
free.
really is.
Good for
I'm
you. Good luck.
very excited.
That's super
Yeah.
exciting. Congratulations.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
And they're great ladies. So that's a nice group growing up there.
Yeah.
Good.
Mama Mia.
Let me see how I know I can't figure out how to mute myself either.
Good. All right. I got to move because I have to put my.
I think it's at the bottom, Melanie.
Oh, I got it. All right, thanks, guys.
Bye.
Good to see you. I have to go plug in.
Okay, who else has got something?
I like seeing all these cute kitties too.
I know.
Okay.
Nobody? That's it?
We saw some people today. Say hi, Indy.
Oh, that's our girl.
She
Oh
has
my
been
goodness.
ever
Hey,
since
Sarah.
I took hi. Ever since I took the class, she has been going to the bathroom like 3 times a day. Now I'm
Wow.
starting to question if that's like normal for 4 months old, but literally we just like joke now. We're like, all she does is go to the bathroom. We say
Wow.
hi, but it's her bedtime, so we're gonna make this short. But today I saw a little boy, and just like in my mom's group, everyone's like, "Oh, you did the CFT training," so I just went around and helped out. And one little boy, every time I felt like I was about to get a release, he just was like, "Okay, I'm done," and like wanted to like get off the table. And I don't know if any of you guys have dealt with that with, he's 3. And apparently this is like his playing style. Like he'll start to chase somebody and then, is that him too, Jamie? And somebody said it's kind of his like playing style. And so I don't know, but the whole time the mom was like trying to push it. And I was like, I don't really want to push it. Like, I'm just kind of doing this for the mom's group, maybe we'll come back to him kind of thing. So we just kept distracting him. But if anybody has any tips and tricks for that, do you have some tips?
Sounds a little like nervous system stuff.
Yeah, he was
Right.
super, super tight. And they got his ties revised at like 7 days old. And she was like, I probably shouldn't have done that. Like it was
old is he?
rough. He's 3 now,
Oh, 3, you said.
but
Okay, you said.
but
Well,
he's never had chiropractic or anything. So it was brand new, but
3-year-olds are tough.
yeah.
Just anyway, I had one today and I was sweating by the time she left. So I would just say, if he, you were just doing a nice thing and helping out your mom's group, but if that was, something a little more consistent, you might see that starts to shift and there's, a little bit more relaxation on the table and nervous system regulation. And then maybe mom would say she is noticing a difference in the way that he's playing and interacting. I mean, I don't think it's anything that you did or didn't do. I think it's probably his nervous system that's just dysregulated like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they have a very short attention span, 3-year-olds, that's just kind of where you get, look at her,
They have.
a few minutes, as you can and take breaks and go back and
Yeah.
but,
Okay.
yeah, for you.
Thank you.
Great.
Bye.
My sweetness.
Bye, Angie.
Like a little model.
y'all.
That's nice. Gorgeous.
Oh, me too.
Hi, remember us? Well, she got a
She
lot of
also did start
CFT.
talking
Huh?
so much after she actually started screaming. We were joking about it. And I know that's like developmentally appropriate, but we're just laughing because my husband's over here. Because she just started screaming ever since she got CFT. She was like, got a new octave unlocked after getting work done.
She was doing all that even during the demo
That's
session.
true.
Sarah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She just was like,
Quite vocal.
she's very vocal now,
Yeah.
even more so than she was.
But wait do you see these babies who get this work done early and like consistently like that, they're happy, they reach milestones, even like before milestones. And they're these little superstars. I mean, it's just so wonderful for them. So it's just like sharing and I don't want to use the word convincing, but it's like we become so passionate about trying to get these moms and dads to understand the value and the importance of getting this work done early, just as far as the CFT, getting their brain cycle open, getting their bodies loose, and then, trying to get their oral function working and early because it gets really complex as they get older.
We were just talking about that tonight before we got on. Kim and I were talking about who were you saying? Oh yeah, like some of the dentists that she refers to are really going hardcore with the MARPs, instead of the more cranial friendly things like the ALF appliance, like younger kids getting the ALF, and now they're not doing that. They're older kids getting the MARP, which is really just a crazy expansion. That's where they drill it up into the palate and pop the suture open and they leave it in there. The bone grows in. It's just like, it's crazy. I had a couple clients with it and it was just like wild to see it. I was like, oh my God, they hear their suture pop open. And then they have this giant, gap in there in that suture. So it's a little crazy. It's kind of the new trend.
Yeah, but we just want to get it sorted early. Anybody else? Like that. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing with brain cycle? Is that something, a tool that everybody's like using effectively? I love it so much. It's just so helpful, I think, as a practitioner. Yes, no, thumbs up, thumbs down.
Somebody said something. It's always good to review the brain cycle.
Hi, Elsa. Yeah, so when your client first comes in, you want to see where they are. You're taking their temperature, so to speak. So you're just going to land lightly and remember that balloon exercise. Are they expanding? Are they contracting? Is your hand being pushed out or being pulled together? If you're not comfortable with it, with the timing, you can go back in your manual and review how to do that. We could go over that as well. But even if you're just getting a general feel for what that feels like, is it non-existent at a 0? Is it very quick? That would indicate their tightness. And then when you go back, if it's easier to feel, if it's longer, if it's smoother, you've made a difference. So as a practitioner, something happened in that session, and you're going to wait to see what your client comes back and reports as far as, their benefits, their symptoms and so forth. So, yeah, I really do encourage not skipping over a brain cycle. It's important, and people like to know. It's quite helpful for them to know, what their cycle's like. Yeah.
Okay, and then you also said what's your take on using CFT with
Diagnosis.
EDS, or do we base it on what the brain cycle tells us? I'm not sure I understand that.
It's not going to matter. Their brain cycle, whether they have EDS or not, is
Right. Yeah.
indicative of, what kind of tightness you feel. Yeah.
I don't know. Does that, yeah, maybe I didn't read it right, or maybe I don't understand it. Yeah, thumbs up. Okay.
I'll give you an example. I have a lady who comes to me very regularly. I've treated the whole family, and now her and her husband they come like once a quarter, and they're both way up, in the high 2s, 300s pretty consistently. And she had fallen and had a very bad break in her leg a few months ago. This was like one of her first outings since surgery. And she came in, and I just gently put my hands on her head. And I was just like, to me, like just amazed. I was like, wow, hard 0. Like, like she was like a completely different head than how she had been. So she had been through a really major fall in an accident and a surgery, anesthesia, and she was shut down to the 0 brain cycle. So I just I just am still amazed by this tool that we have, and so I would just make sure that you're practicing that. It's really important. Look at your little cutie there, Jamie. Yeah.
At what point would you give the go ahead for a tie release? Is that for an infant, adult, a kid? Who are you asking for? Child. Well, I mean, for sure they have to have gotten through their entire myofunctional therapy. Whoever they're doing myofunctional therapy with. I'm not sure if, let's see. Okay. So myofunctional therapy, and then you're doing CFT with them, you're getting them to a place where you feel like they're stable, their brain is open. And that you've I would say take pictures from the very beginning. If you're working with that kid that's going to get a release, what does that fascia look like underneath the tongue? Is it still buried underneath there? Is it can you see it? And then I think the myofunctional tool is just a big piece of that.
That was my question. Sorry.
Hey,
For the,
Oh, there you
hey,
are.
these
Yeah.
are for my own kids. So I don't have any clients or anything, but I know I was checking out my son. He has buccal ties, it looks like, and I haven't had him evaluated yet. But I mean, I have a few years ago, but we're going to go through everything again. So that's why I was kind of curious at what point, because I'm still kind of figuring it all out as I work on them. But
Are they doing myofunctional therapy?
I'm starting, I'm going to go one at a time through the process, but my oldest is going in on the 7th. He's going into chrysalis with Autumn, but she's not
Yep.
seeing people anymore. But I think it's Emily or something. We're going to start with her.
Cool.
And then go into the expansion stuff. And I know he'll probably need a release just because I was looking at his mouth. But but then that's why I was wondering, because I'm still new to like feeling the fascia and when it's like there's too much restriction, or I'm still figuring it out. So I guess that's what I was kind of wondering. I wanted to prep them as much as I possibly could, going through that process.
Yeah, they have to have a place for their tongue to go. So if
Mhm.
they need expansion, that usually happens first, along with myofunctional therapy. And then if you've been doing CFT on them that whole time,
Right.
that should be plenty, like of CFT for them. If you're
So
doing,
like maybe a release at the end of that. You're saying like
well,
after
I don't know
expansion?
if they're getting expansion. I don't know their situation for what's
They
happening.
I'm guessing, yeah, like for
Yeah.
all, like my youngest has a crossbite and they all mouth breathe. So they're all going to go through the myofascial therapy. And then I'm guessing expansion just because it's really crowded in there.
Well, they have to be able to hold a cave. I mean, how old are they?
5, 7, and 9.
Okay, so the 5-year-old's like probably young, but yeah, I mean the older kids they're gonna be very, we want them to be like well through their myofunctional therapy so that they can hold a cave. You should be able to see it. If they've got a cave and the floor of the mouth is down, then
Mhm.
you're gonna be able to see that frenulum should be very well exposed, you
Okay.
know. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
I also think too, just to add to that is like how they're older, but anyway, like how's their nervous system? Is their nervous system regulated? And particularly with the babies, we don't want to send a baby that's just totally dysregulated in for a procedure like that. We want to try to do our best to help them get to a better place.
Before all that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Good luck with all that.
Thank you.
Sally, has CFT shown to reduce pain for torn rotator cuff and or lateralized patella problems from tight IT band, or possibly decrease the lateralized patella? I'm just laughing. Sally, are you a PT? OT, PT? Anyway, so you're just paying for the torn. Yeah, so like avoiding surgery, or it depends. I mean, if something's torn, CFT is not going to fix the tear. Um, but it depends on where they are in that injury as well. So if you have people that are older that have had an injury for a long time, I have worked on those people that don't want to get surgery. Um, that's the rotator. And then as far as the patella, IT band, I mean, it's hard to say. Like, it's such an
Well, the
individualized
fascia
thing.
is pulling it out
Yeah.
laterally. It's possible. I've seen things line up
There's
after CFT.
Oh, Holly, sorry, I had a problem, like the keyboard was like blocking like the
That's
spot where I would
okay.
unmute myself. So yes, I am a PT.
I
But
thought
while
so.
I was
Just the
doing
wording
that,
of that was, I guess, a PT. Yeah. Yeah.
can you repeat what you said about rotator cuff again? Sorry,
Oh,
I
I
was
just was
trying to.
thinking about so I've had some older clients that have had rotator cuff injuries, and um, they've had a lot of problems with it, and then but they don't want to get surgery. So yeah, I have worked with them with CFT and done amazing stuff with that. But like thinking of it not so like focused on that, but like just the whole body. I
Mhm.
mean, everything. Like that particular person had a ton of like neck and TMJ issues going on as well.
Oh, okay.
So,
I see.
are you using it a lot, Sally, in your practice?
Somewhat. It's kind of hard. I do more of like infants and toddlers. This question was because of my husband.
Okay.
So, I want to kind of help him, but he's very resistant. I don't know. He just he definitely is like, I want to do surgery, I want to take the meds,
Oh,
and
yeah. Yeah.
so
Well, I mean, yeah. And so if he wants to do that, it might be a little bit hard and maybe it is the right thing to do. But for sure, if he does get surgery, then you're going to want to definitely be in there, after that. Because
yeah,
that's a hard surgery.
it is.
it's tough. I've had clients that, it's not one of those surgery that goes well for everybody. It's not just like like a meniscus tear or something where they just go in and zip and it's done. It's like it's kind of like can go either way. So, but yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Holly. Thank you, Kim.
You. Elsa, I've been working a lot with infants and pregnant moms. All good. Having good results with what I'd call unwinding. Yep, from babies that had been in live states for a while and mom having prolonged labor. I'm also a doula. It's great stuff. Oh, that's so good to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing.
Hi. Sorry,
Hi,
I'm already in
Emily.
my jammies for the night, but I did have a
Oh, I'm
question.
jealous.
Um, I had a question because I had my first like OT day back to work since our training last week. And I have this little kid in mind that I really want to do CFT with, but I think I'm going to have to do it in increments. And I guess because I have it in my mind that it needs to be like an hour session, um, it just seems really impossible with a 19-month-old kiddo that like I haven't really established rapport yet with for OT. And so today I just tried to get my hands on him a little bit just so that he would start getting used to that. But have you heard that feedback from other like OTs and PTs or people who like we're kind of I'm not just doing CFT because it's OT and it's like through the state and all of that. But I really like this child had a stroke and so like I really want to work on some of those like he has an arm that he has some use of it but I can tell he just desperately needs to be unwound in that arm because when he does relax it actually functions a lot better. So I guess I'm just curious, have you heard of OTs kind of incorporating it for like a part of their session and then
Definitely.
being able to work on more functional tasks? Okay.
Definitely. I mean, a lot of, yeah, if you're a PTOT or another PEDS provider where you're doing other things, that's totally fine to be doing that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think I'm going to have to establish some more rapport with this child before we, um, get more hands on him because he was pretty
How old is
resistant
he?
today. 19 months.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
he's like really clingy to the mommy. And I didn't have a table or anything because I'm just in their home on the floor, but, um, they have like an ottoman that honestly would probably be better to do it on, just size wise. But I'm just trying to figure out how to incorporate in my practice. I definitely plan to do other things with it, especially like helping with family and things like that. But the kid part, I remember at our training when we had that family that had the 7 children that came in and like we worked on some of the toddlers and like they're all over the place. And so
Yeah.
that's definitely more reflective of the kids that are in my practice, but also a lot of the kids that are in my practice have autism or they also have some pretty intense dysregulation that's going to affect things. So I think it's just going to be a bit of a learning curve. It's not like a still adult
Yeah.
on
The
a
other thing,
table.
Emily, is some of those kids, like, they don't do well if you just go in and you start trying to work at their head. So
Right.
don't start at the head,
Okay.
maybe start down at the sacrum or hold some legs or hold an arm. Just get in where you can, where they are not feeling like invaded,
Okay.
and that may help eventually get a little bit closer to some of the areas, maybe the neck or the head, but
Okay.
starting there may not go well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, good. Okay, Megan gave us a message here. I think mine got skipped. Sorry about that. Just reposting. I think I'm just dealing with a lot of self-doubt still, and I don't do CFT daily. Haven't had any wild success stories, so any words of wisdom there would be so appreciated. Okay, so that's Megan again. Megan, are you okay? I'm sorry, I did see that. Are you a practitioner? Just remind us.
I'm a speech therapist.
You're the speech therapist. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, how are you incorporating it? You're saying you're not practicing it every day. So you're seeing clients.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I was telling you guys, some of my clients are a little bit easier. So yeah, if they like plop down in my lap, it's easy enough for me to kind of fit it in. But some of my other ones, I mean, I'll see them once a week. And then some of them I can't even get near them. Well, I mean, over time it's working, I guess, more, but it's just a harder population because it's not like I have someone that's able to give me a lot of feedback of like, oh, after these 2 or 3 sessions, I'm feeling so much better. So,
They're nonverbal
um,
or they're just young.
yeah, I pretty much strictly work with like non-speaking.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then I haven't really done it, consistently with like any other groups. I mean, when I first got back, I was doing some with my family, but, um, yeah, I don't know. I guess and because they're so fidgety often, it's just, I'm trying to just trust that whatever happened was enough. But I also am like, even if a mom's like asking me, like, oh, what do you feel? I'm like, I honestly am not always certain about what I'm feeling. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think you just like need a little bit more support or something in that realm.
Do you
Yeah,
have,
I mean, and so many people are dealing with self-doubt and, you know, low confidence, and they're not even working with the population you're working with, so you have like a double whammy there, being kind of new and then having such a challenging, client to work with. But I would just say, just keep trying a little bit at a time. And again, I would not be coming in on those kids that if they probably, very sensory, sensitive, not coming in on their heads, maybe coming in under those shoulder blades and seeing what you feel there, or trying to come in from the feet or something like that, and just start a little bit at a time and just try each session. If you just do a little bit, I do think that over time you're going to start to hear some progress being made. And then in addition to that, I would try working on family or friends just for your own practice. And so that maybe you can get some more direct feedback to just build your confidence, because that's how it happens is you start to get these little success stories and build them, and then all of a sudden your confidence is going up. And with that, you're becoming a better practitioner because you're having confident hands laying, on these kids at this point because you trust in the work.
yeah.
Yeah. But I think it's time and practice. I would try practicing on some people that are outside of, the population that you work with speech too. See where
Okay.
it takes you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome. All right, guys, we're just approaching 9. And anybody have anything else they want to follow up with?
I do have maybe 2 questions.
Yep.
Okay, so I've been working on my kids, and that's really helped me because I was doubting myself a lot. Not CFT itself, but just am I like tapping in right? And so I've just been practicing on my kids. Not much was happening at first, and the more and more I do it on all of them, I'm seeing like releases and stuff. Like my one kid, I wanted to ask you guys about this at this meeting, but I did like I guess that's the just the frontal release right here above the nasal bone. And this is my kid who's kind of on the spectrum, and he was like, whoa, whoa, what is that? He's like, I feel like so weird. I can't even describe it. And then he said, I feel like I'm going to pass out. I'm like, okay, is this just a really strong release? Should I, you know, back off or just ride it through? That's what I was curious, because another kid experienced the same thing after he got slammed in the nose, and I tried that on him. He had the same thing. But I went back again like the next day. He's like, I want to see if it feels that way again. And I did it, and it was less intense. Is that just something you would sit on like and just stay there until it passes? Or if it's so intense for them, they feel like they're going to pass out, is that something you would maybe not stay on?
I love his curiosity that he wanted you to go back and try it again.
Yeah, he likes it.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it is. I mean, if somebody was going to pass out, I'm probably going to just back off a minute and just give it,
Well, he's never passed out. So he's like 9, he's 10, actually, he's not 9. So I don't think he even knows what that feels like to pass out, but
I think you probably found some, a lot of fascial strain there is what I think. It was probably
Okay.
releasing and, probably felt intense for him. So I like that you went back and that it wasn't as intense. That means that layer's gone,
Okay.
but I would keep checking in on that as you work with them. I always check in on frontal bone anyway. It's just,
Okay.
yeah.
I worked on him again last night for quite a while, and he was like all over the table. And I couldn't remember if I was to stay. Like, I think I'm trying to think where I was. It was up on his head somewhere. And he was just really wanting to roll around. And I couldn't remember if I should get up and like connect the dots or if I just stay where I'm at as he's.
Once you're into an unwind, you can take your hand off the occiput and you're just supporting and yeah, connecting the dots. So if he's feeling it or you're seeing something in another area, you can move your hands to that. But once somebody is already in, then into the unwind, you don't have to, play twister with yourself and try to keep your hands on either the occiput or the sacrum. You're just, yeah. And then you can always go back and you can check in that area again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good work. All right, I think we had a couple more people here that just, let's just see. I think okay, Megan. Ilsa, is there an option to train with Dr. Gillespie? I think I saw that on the site. Correct me if I'm wrong. If so, what might that entail? No, we are the only trainers for CFT. Barry retired in, I think it was 2015. He taught his last class. I was with him for that. So I'm not sure where you're seeing that. We do have the mentorship program, which we have Charity from Cocoon to Bloom out in Arizona, who does an intensive 3 days. So if you want to train with her, you can get in touch with her through our website for that. And it's great because she's going to set up 3 days of different types of clients based on the kind of clients that you want to see, whether it's infants or pregnant women or adults, children, and then you're working with her on her, she's working on you, and there's just a lot of good conversation and Q&A available with her. So that would be, an option for you if you wanted to continue to deepen your skills. All right. Stacy, that's what I'm doing with OT. The most difficult thing is in the tactile input. For some, that is too much or unexpected for them. Yes, agree. So then I try to address nervous system through sensory or primitive reflexes and come back to CFT after in the session. I'm still learning how to make my introduction to body work more playful and understood by the children. Sometimes I will do the sensory pizza or things like that to get them more comfortable. Yeah, definitely. You have to be creative and patient and the play and the earning the trust and not just, those kids are not going to do well if you just start, jumping in on it. So you may have to kind of sneak in on those things. Awesome. All right. Well, I'm so glad to hear from all of you. There's great questions and great stories. So we're always available if you need us on email. You can reach us. And otherwise, we will see you back for another Zoom. And thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming out.